Hello, I'm Tamara, and today I will walk you through the steps that you need to know to make these Art Deco inspired pillowcases. 2 fat quarters will make yourself 2 pillow tops. That's excluding the fabric for the back. I just ended up using some scraps for that part. I will give you all of the measurements as we go through the tutorial. So let's get started.
So first things first, grab your 2 fat quarters that you want for the front of your pillow, give them a quick press, and then cut them into 18-inch by 18-inch squares. I like to do this with my fabrics stacked, as it will help us in the next step moving forward. The next step will be drawing a line from point to point. Now my quilter's ruler was a little bit short for this, so I ended up stacking 2 quilting rulers side by side, but whatever straight edge you want to use will work for this. You just need to be able to draw one line all the way across from point to point. You don't even need to use a water-soluble marking tool because we will be cutting along that edge later on. But before we cut along that marked line, we actually are going to pin along both sides. Now make sure that you have both of your squares stacked facing right sides together before you pin along that marked line. So we will sew a 1/4 inch seam allowance along both sides of that marked line. This step is easiest to do using a 1/4 inch sewing foot, but if you do not have a 1/4 inch sewing foot, you still can do this. After that, then we can finally cut along that edge, open up our triangles, and we will see our first square. It's at this point that you will press your seams open, and then you will mark on both of these squares that we've created a line again from point to point. This time you will cut along that marked line right away. And now it's time to take our triangles and lay them together in a way so that the colors are all opposite each other. Then it's time to take the 2 triangles and lay them right sides together and pin right in the center. It's very important to get that center seam lined up as perfect as you can. To do this, I do like to use a pin right there in the center, and then I'll clip all the way out to both edges. Then take it to your sewing machine and sew another 1/4 inch seam allowance. Do this for both sets of triangles and then press those seams open. Now it's time to grab our quilter's ruler or a pair of fabric scissors and just cut away those little tags that are hanging past our corners. The finished size of your pillow tops should be 17 inches by 17 inches. We need that measurement to do our envelope backing. So just measure your pillow tops to make sure that they are 17 by 17. If they're a bit smaller, take that measurement. For myself, that will be 17 inches, and cut 4 pieces of fabric for your backings at 17 inches by 12.5 inches. Or whatever your measurement is by 12.5 inches. Then take all 4 pieces of fabric, and then you will press along one of the long edges of each piece of fabric, a 1/2 inch in, and then a 1/2 inch in again, taking that to your sewing machine and sewing a seam along that inner edge. And now it's time to put our envelope pillow together. So grab 2 of those pieces of fabric, lay them right sides up, and then lay your pillow top right side facing down, and then just start pinning around the entire edge. And then take it to your sewing machine, sewing a 1/2 inch seam around the entire outer edge. To do this, you'll backstitch when you start and when you stop. And for myself, I also like to backstitch when I sew over those extra seams from the backing envelope flap. And then we will just snip away all 4 corners, making sure, of course, not to snip too closely to our sewn seam. Then turn the entire project right side out, pressing very gently on all 4 corners. Bring it to your iron and give it one final press along those edges before putting your pillow insert in.
So what do you think? Are you gonna make some Art Deco inspired pillowcases? Please hit that thumbs up button if you like this tutorial, and as always, hit that subscribe button so you don't lose me amongst all of the amazing sewists on YouTube. I hope that you guys have a wonderful day, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now.